Hello and welcome. I'm Saeed from StoryPlanet.net. Dive right into the essence of the most captivating books without reading them cover to cover. Whether you're on the go, at the gym, or just relaxing at home, we offer you a unique and enriching listening experience. Today, we are exploring the book Disability.Visibility, a creation by Alice Wong. Disability.Visibility 2020 is a collection of original essays written by individuals with disabilities. Regrettably, there is a dearth of narratives that depict the challenges faced by disabled individuals when maneuvering through environments intended for those without disabilities. This anthology seeks to shed light on the various experiences encountered by disabled individuals and reveals the narrowness of our perspectives on disability. Before we delve into these revelations, it's interesting to note that Alice Wong is a disability advocate, creator of media content, and consultant for research. She is the founder and director of the Disability.Visibility project, as well as a co-producer for the Disability.Visibility podcast. In the years spanning from 2013 to 2015, she was appointed by President Barack Obama to serve on the National Council on Disability. With 10 key ideas to unveil, brace yourself for a deep dive into this captivating book. On StoryPlanet.net. To start, this text encourages individuals to learn about ableism and how to address it in their communities. The text is about the diverse experiences of living with a disability and the limited representation of disabled people in the media. Alice Wong's work aims to make disabilities visible and address the structural inequalities that affect disabled individuals. The text also mentions essays by disabled activists, writers, artists, and thinkers that highlight different perspectives on living with disabilities in an ableist world. Examples include an astrophysicist who found a way to listen to stars after losing her sight, the importance of including disability rights in struggles for racial justice, and the idea of embracing disability rather than searching for a cure. Key idea number 1. Mainstream media lacks representation of disabled people's stories. Key points. Alice Wong noticed a lack of representation of disabled people in media. She founded the Disability.Visibility project, DVP, to create an oral history archive and increase visibility. DVP used mediums like Twitter to promote disability rights and host conversations with political candidates. Representing disabled people allows for a more nuanced portrayal and helps combat stigma. DVP continues its work through various projects, aiming for increased representation in the future. Key idea number 2. Disabled people are often viewed as having lives that are inherently less valuable compared to others. The text discusses the experiences of disability rights lawyer Harriet McBride Johnson and her fight against the perception that disabled people's lives are less valuable. Johnson encountered daily instances of people assuming her life was not worth living due to her disability. She disagreed with philosopher Peter Singer's argument that parents should be allowed to kill babies with severe cognitive impairments. Johnson believed that disability does not determine the quality or outcome of a person's life and argued against Singer's prejudice. Key idea number 3, emphasizing the need for a cure for disabled individuals can be detrimental. The text highlights the harmful notion of insisting that disabled people should constantly search for a cure. It shares the personal experiences of June Eric Udori and Liz Moore, who both grappled with their conditions and the pressure to be cured. Eventually, both realized the importance of accepting their bodies as they were and embracing their identities as individuals with disabilities. This acceptance allowed them to embrace a sense of freedom and live life on their own terms. Key idea number 4. Custom-made clothing can be a powerful way to celebrate the bodies of disabled and queer individuals. The text highlights the push for conformity and blending in for people who do not have bodies that conform to societal norms. Most clothing designed for disabled and gender non-conforming individuals is not suitable for active lifestyles or does not promote individual expression. Rebirth Garments, a custom clothing brand, aims to celebrate all aspects of people's bodies and identities by creating garments that are unique, colorful, and designed to be seen. They host dance parties instead of traditional fashion shows to showcase their clothing in action. Through their fashion, Rebirth challenges traditional beauty standards and provides a space for disabled and queer people to be visible on their own terms. Key idea number 5, while there is a commonly held belief that mental illness can enhance creativity, it is important to acknowledge that it also creates obstacles and challenges for individuals. The key message of the text is that while mental illness is often romanticized as aiding creativity, it actually creates barriers. The author, Shoshana Kessock, shares her experience with bipolar disorder and how medication initially hindered her creativity. She eventually found a supportive doctor who helped her find the right medication, allowing her to work thoughtfully and deliberately without the extreme highs and lows. The text also suggests that artists like Van Gogh could have achieved more if they had received help and support for their mental health. Key idea number 6. Including disabled people in the fight for racial justice is crucial. Darnell T. Wicker, a deaf black veteran, was shot by police in Louisville after they issued a verbal warning he couldn't hear. The majority of people who are killed by police are deaf or disabled, and black people are overrepresented in these numbers due to structural racism. The movement for Black Lives has ignored the experiences of disabled people in their activism, erasing disability from the conversation. However, disabled people need to be central to the fight for racial justice as they face higher rates of poverty and involvement in the legal system. The Harriet Tubman Collective fights against the erasure of disabled and deaf people in racial justice movements and emphasizes that the fight for racial justice also includes fighting ableism. Black disabled lives matter. Key idea number 7. Disabled people have the potential to contribute to innovation with appropriate support. The text highlights the story of astronomer Wanda Diaz-Merced, who created a way for blind scientists to convert data on gamma-ray bursts into sound. This innovation not only made the field more accessible, but also provided new knowledge. It emphasizes that with the right support, disabled individuals can drive innovation. The text further discusses the advancements in technology that support people with disabilities and the need for equitable access to these accommodations. It mentions the underrepresentation of disabled individuals in all industries and the importance of creating equal opportunities. Key idea number 8. Indigenous people experience systemic racism in the healthcare system. Jen Deerenwater shares her experience of navigating a racist healthcare system that erases her identity as a citizen of the Cherokee Nation of Oklahoma. Indigenous people in the U.S. face intrusive questions, microaggressions, and underfunding in the Indian Health Service, IHS. Historical abuses, such as forced sterilizations, contribute to the mistrust of the healthcare system. Indigenous people have shorter life expectancies and higher rates of various illnesses due to colonialism, environmental pollution, and lack of access to traditional foods. Deerenwater is fighting back by insisting on proper identification and demanding the medical treatment she deserves. Key idea number 9. The well-being of intellectually disabled individuals improves when they are living in communities as opposed to living in institutions. Ricardo Thornton was institutionalized as a child and teenager at a notorious institute called Forest Haven. After it was revealed that staff were abusive, Forest Haven closed, but the practice of segregating people with intellectual disabilities continues. Thornton was able to leave and experience life in a group home where he found autonomy and love with his wife, Donna. They have since become successful advocates for disabled people. Thornton believes that all people with disabilities can thrive in communities if they have support and opportunities, such as through Medicaid programs and building care networks. Autonomy and decision-making are crucial for a fulfilling life. Key idea number 10. CRIP spaces and care networks play a crucial role in advancing disability justice movements. The text discusses the importance of CRIP spaces and care networks in disability justice movements. These spaces are designed for disabled individuals and provide a social gathering where they can support each other. Ableist environments make it challenging for disabled people to participate fully, so these spaces are necessary for inclusivity and support. Disability justice also involves recognizing the intersections of struggles such as fighting air pollution and protesting the incarceration of disabled immigrants. Disability justice networks create resilient communities and envision radical futures of care. In conclusion, creating visibility for disabled people involves understanding the diversity and complexity of their stories, as well as the impact of ableism and racism on their lives. Disability justice movements provide important spaces for community building. An actionable suggestion is to develop a care network and practice interdependence by supporting others and asking for help when needed. This fosters vulnerable and honest friendships and builds trust. Thank you for listening to this summary. If you enjoyed this exploration, we invite you to discover other fascinating books on storyplanet.net. Don't wait any longer. A multitude of books, stories, and knowledge await you there. See you soon on storyplanet.net.